Excellent. All righty, everybody. Welcome. I'm Steve Lander, the Director of Pavement Management for WithersRavenel, and today's Lunch and Learn is on cool pavement sealers attacking the urban heat island effect. This is kind of a timely topic. A lot of folks are trying to address this in treating their roads, so hope everybody's doing well. And the intent of these Lunch and Learns is to introduce new practices and products. And it's interesting that Evan here, he kind of fell into this by a couple jobs that are going on. And so anyway, he's the one that's promoting this for his company. So we're really looking forward to it. The key to any of the practices that we're talking about is really to educate folks on what you're doing, trying a sample project, and get it out there, and so people can see it. Little housekeeping. We in the chat area, we're going to be posting a few links, and they're starting to post now. Thank you, Deanne. So the first one is for PDH credits. So if you need those, just click on the link. It'll take you to a form online, and then you will get PDH credits. So you get 1 credit for this. The WithersRavenel Asset Management website is listed. We have SealMaster, SportsMaster, and Gem Seal products. Maybe Evan, maybe you can talk to the SportsMaster and the Gem Seal products links.
Sure. So SealMaster's sister company is SportMaster, and SportMaster is known for their acrylic coatings for tennis courts, pickleball courts, running tracks. So we're all under one umbrella. And roughly 5 years ago, we went through a merger with one of our competitors named Gem Seal. And through this merger, we now own the rights to their brand name, and we have more products available. So one thing Gem Seal did a really good job with was promoting their paints. We now have a paint brand of ProStripe Plus, which is a really good paint that's on the market, and we're selling quite a bit of it to municipalities.
Excellent. All righty, so just so everybody knows that this Lunch and Learn is being recorded, as I mentioned at the beginning. So if for whatever reason you got to jump off and you'd like to see it later, we can get you that link, or maybe somebody in your office would like to see the video. We can provide that for them. Also, too, is that we can get you copies of the presentation as well. We always ask our folks who are attending these things to let us know if there's any subjects that you'd like for us to cover in the up and coming months, and let us know how we're doing so we can better serve the folks that attend these. So the format is that Evan's going to be speaking for about 40 to 45 minutes, and everybody's on mute. So if you have questions, put it in the chat area, and Deanne and myself will be monitoring those, and we'll we might be interrupting Evan as we go. We really want to create a conversation rather than just going through a presentation. So if you have questions, ask them, and we'll get them answered. And if we don't get them answered within the allotted time, then we'll get back to you via email. All righty. So Evan's he's done a few of these. So we've and we've known each other for, shoot, I don't know how many years, but Evan's he promotes best management practices in pavement management. He's a municipal sales manager at SealMaster, with 12 years of experience at SealMaster. He launched the Greensboro storefront, and in the current role, Evan collaborates with municipalities, POAs, HOAs, and community management associations across North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. He is responsible for advancing, implementing, and overseeing comprehensive asphalt pavement management systems, consistently promoting best management practices that exceed industry standards. And he's involved with APWA. And for those that are on the call here, if you're not a member of APWA North Carolina or wherever you're at, I suggest that you join. It's a great venue to learn about practices like products like this, and to meet great people and learn how to take care of things at your municipality. So, with no further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Evan to start it off.
Sounds good. Thank you, Steve, and thank you, WithersRavenel, for letting us to come on here and participate. Can everybody see the screen, Steve?
Yes.
Okay. So, thank you for the introduction. Again, my name is Evan. I've been with SealMaster for over 12 years. We are continuously coming out with different products, or the sales reps in this instance are learning about products that have been on the market for over 25 years, but we never heard of until now. So today we're going to be talking about the cool pavement sealers attacking the urban heat island effect. Steve kind of stole my thunder, but SealMaster, we're the manufacturer of pavement maintenance products and equipment. A lot of folks know us for the black sealers or crack sealants that are in the parking lots, along with the line stripes that are down. We do make coatings. We make seal coats. We make bituminous surface treatments like our liquid road. We also make the equipment for the materials to apply them. We make heated asphalt storage tanks if anyone is in the market for that. Then we have, again, our sister company, SealMaster, where we are the manufacturer of the sport acrylics. So tennis court, pickleball. Pickleball is it's picking up tremendously for us. And we've actually created a system to where we can help Public Works do it themselves if they wanted to try to fix their courts or maintain their courts, and the cost saving is substantial. So that may be a topic we present at a later time.
Get some Parks and Rec folks involved.
Yeah, absolutely. We have our crack sealants, whether it's a hot pour, cold pour, mastic. And then one of the things what we do very well with is our tools, our accessories, the ancillary products, paint, stencils, brushes, rakes, lutes. We have all kinds of different things that are in our stores. SealMaster is a international company. We have a large footprint throughout the United States. I just wanted to show you guys our footprint since we did go through this merger. We are in the gray. We have northern Texas, the state of Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, the northern part or western part of Virginia, eastern Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and all of Michigan. For SealMaster itself, the PMG group makes up over 50% of the sales throughout the entire SealMaster franchise. If you've never been to one of our locations, we are revamping them and fully stocking them. They are one of a kind in this industry. They're full of anything that you need to do with asphalt or some concrete related products. So come check us out. But getting to the topic today, the urban heat island effect. Urban heat island occurs when a city experiences much warmer temperatures than nearby rural areas. The difference in temperatures between the urban and less developed rural areas has to do with how well the surface in each environment absorbs and holds the heat. As you can see in this picture, you have the sun that's beating down on basically the urban area where it's going to have a larger heat impact versus the rural area. Why is that? Well, materials such as asphalt, steel, bricks are often very dark in colors. They're either black, brown, blue, could be even a dark maroon color. The darker objects absorb all of the wavelengths of the light energy and converts them into heat. So the objects get warm. In contrast, a white object reflects all the wavelengths of the light. The light is not converted into heat and the temperatures of the white object does not increase noticeably. Thus, the dark objects such as building material absorb the heat from the sun. I have a colleague that used to be in the roof coating industry and they would do a lot of roof repairs. And he was down in Florida, and within the matter of minutes of working with a black tin, it would be so hot that it would burn him instantly. So they would switch over to more of a tan color. The tan seemed to really reflect it. And that's basically what this slide's about. And that's kind of where this presentation is going, how to reflect the solar heat waves. So what is pavement preservation? We preach this at APWA. It is the right treatment on the right street at the right time. The biggest takeaway is the mill and pave philosophy, which we've been doing for many, many years, is unsustainable. And we have to find different treatments or different techniques out there to make our pavement last longer.
Hey, Evan, if I could add here, what we're really trying to achieve is the perpetual pavement. So something that Rob Holland and I found out is that if you put down a new street and you don't touch it, typically you're going to get about 15 to 17 years before you have to mill it back up. And so what we want to be able to do is we want to put treatments down such that we're taking that 15 to 17 years and we're going to be stretching it out to, hopefully 25 to 30 years. At some point you're going to mill it up, but you protected the base, and that's really the premise of all this preservation and crack sealing, keeping the surface water from getting down into the base where you end up with large base failures. So at the end of this 25 to 30 years, you're doing minor base repairs. And then you're putting the surface back and you're starting over again. But when you let it go to failure, then you're having to replace everything. So anyway, just something on the perpetual pavement.
Absolutely. There are several different types of treatments out on the market, and each treatment has their own place. Rejuvenators work very well on newer pavements. Crack sealing, you typically see that between years 5 to 15. You're going to have your failed areas where you have to do some patching. And then there's some other surface treatments out there too. One of ours is bituminous surface treatment. It's called Liquid Road. It's basically a fine slurry that you would put down on a sound neighborhood. PCI, let's just say 70 to 85. Another treatment out there is chip seals. And then you have your slurry and micros. This chart's been around for quite some time. Looks like the bottom piece got cut out for some reason. This S-curve is basically showing you the pavement deterioration. 25 years ago, our pavements were lasting a lot longer than they are now. And a lot of it has to do with the heavy traffic that's on them now, along with, the trash trucks. But some of it has to do with the ingredients itself. The refineries have gotten a lot better at taking out the naphthalene, the kerosene, all of the fine ingredients to where you're only left with about 3% of asphalt in a drum of crude oil. And asphalt comes from crude oil. So the graph on the right is more realistic of what we're looking at today. This chart actually shows that pavement would last between 13 to 15 years if you didn't touch it. And basically, from year 0 to 10, if you didn't touch it, that would be 70 5% of the life of the asphalt, which would drop 40% in quality. But from year 10 to year 13, maybe 14, it's going to drop significantly fast. It would drop an additional 40% over those 3 years. And so what we're trying to do, and ultimately what Steve was talking about, is doing treatments at the right time to extend the life to where we make it 20 to 25 years. We need to do something to stretch it. Throughout this presentation, we're going to be starting to talk more about the pavement condition index. I'm sure everyone on the call is familiar with it, but just to reiterate, it's a grading scale on how we rank our roads. 0 being, basically nothing there, to 100 being a brand new road. And throughout the life of the road, there'll be a different PCI that is the score of how the road is rated. So let's get started. The city of San Antonio, Texas, implemented a cool pavement pilot program. And this was intended to investigate long-term strategies for reducing the urban heat island effect. The program is in line with more comprehensive urban heat migration plans that use energy-saving materials and green infrastructures. Publications such as Smart City Dives have emphasized how critical it is to implement cool pavement sealers, which are specifically engineered to more effectively reflect sunlight during hot weather. This is actually a picture of one of the products that were put down. You can see it's kind of got that grayish color. We are going to start to get into the products here in a couple more slides. Here is a video of what we were just discussing.
Crossed that it works.
Public Works is installing cool pavement in each city council district to test which product works the best. It's part of the city's cool pavement pilot program. Cool pavement is a way to address extreme heat. When asphalt heats up during the summer, it absorbs heat and it radiates that heat at night. The neighborhood doesn't cool down. What cool pavement does is it reflects some of that heat and actually can cool down a neighborhood. That not only reduces risk for extreme heat health impacts, it could also potentially reduce cooling costs. It could hopefully, at the end of the day, save taxpayers money in cooling bills. The other thing we do know is cool pavement helps extend the life of the roadway. So in the long run, it would help save taxpayer monies because the city won't have to continually improve the roads on a more frequent basis. It'll improve the life of the roadway. We'll be working with UTSA on 2 research projects. One is to test which product actually reflects the most heat, to see which one can help actually cool down the roadway the most. The second research project is to look at performance, skid resistance, glare, braking ability. The goal is to find out which treatments together can cool down a neighborhood the most. And once we understand that, we can begin deploying those treatments throughout all city neighborhoods. But first, we have to understand which products work the best, which assortment of treatments work the best, so we know what really is the most effective way to cool.
So the cool pavement program, and the city of San Antonio teamed up with the University of Texas San Antonio branch for a cool pavement pilot program. It was designed to combat the impacts of excessive heat and climate change. The goal of assessing creative, environmentally responsible pavement solutions that lower surface temperatures and lessen the impact of the urban heat island effect, especially in septical areas with outdated infrastructure, low-income housing, restricted walkability. The program's goal is to find materials that work well for treatments that can be applied throughout the city boosting sustainability and raising the living standards in the impacted area. So the 4 different products that they reached out for were SealMaster's Solar Pave, GAF Street Bond Dura Shield, Guard Top Cool Seal, and Pave Tech Plus TI. These were the 4 solutions they found on the market. For SealMaster, our product is Solar Pave. It is a polymer emulsion coating manufactured with UV resistant. It's reflective, light-colored mineral pigments to provide minimum solar reflectance of 0.33. It is blended with an anti-slip aggregate to increase surface texture. And according to some of the San Antonio city representatives, one of the products, our product, Solar Pave, had the most notable reduction in the surface temperature, 3.58 degrees on average compared with the other sites. The local officials there said that our product came back on freshly paved asphalt. It dropped it 18 degrees, which is substantial. They also noted we had the best adhesion strength supporting longevity on the pavement surface. These are actual pictures from San Antonio. It's got that mocha color to it. It's got a texture to it. We will get into the texture and friction testing here in a minute. A little more on Solar Pave. And this is our reflective pavement, cool pavement surface coating. It's designed for roads, parking lots, driveways. I've actually been talking with some municipalities around the Greensboro area about trying this out on walkways, just to lower the temperature when you're out for a morning jog. One of the key things for the SealMaster Solar Pave is it has a 33% SRI number, so solar reflective index number. It helps enhance nighttime visibility due to the lighter pavement color. And again, it comes in as a mocha gray. Our technical data sheets are all posted online. You're roughly installing 0.5 gallons a square yard. It's a 2-coat minimum process. One key note on this is we want to make sure the pavement has no moisture in it. So on our SDS sheet, we actually say that the temperature must be above 60 degrees and rising during the application, which is new to us because normally all of our specs are for 50 degrees and rising. One of the other 3 remaining products that they tested was the GAF Street Bond Dura Shield. It is a solar gray. It is a 2-component waterborne epoxy, modified acrylic coating blended with silica aggregates. The coating is formulated using ultraviolet reflective technology to provide an initial solar reflective of the 0.33. That 33% solar reflective index number again. According to the manufacturer, GAF Street Bond has no odor during or after installation, and it resists the UV damage. It is fully recyclable with the asphalt. The third product they chose was the Guard Top Cool Seal. Guard Top Cool Seal is a water-based asphalt emulsion seal coat. It has fine aggregate and asphalt content of at least 32% and 10% by weight, respectively. It has a solar reflectance of the 0.33 and a final cure of gray color. Now, Cool Seal has a light gray color and they also have a dark gray color. And then the last one that they tested was Pave Tech Plus TI. This is a titanium O2 based asphalt rejuvenating sealing agent. It is composed of a petroleum resin oil base, uniformly emulsified with water. With its photocatalytic technology, it enables removal of the nitrogen oxides, volatile organic compounds, and other airborne vehicular exhaust pollutants. Aside from the other three products, PaveTech product penetrate deep into the pavement surface and not change the surface color. That is because this one is more of a rejuvenator, where ours is strictly a seal coat, just like the other two that are out there. So you have one that, penetrates in, and then you had three that sat on top. Here's another video. So there's been multiple cool pavement product demonstrations out there. One was in San Antonio, another one's in Phoenix. I believe there's one in LA, and there's a couple more across, but here's the one in Phoenix.
Well, if you've been outside these last few days, you know that the hot temperatures of summer are back. And part of this is called the heat island effect, and it's going to play a major role in future summers here in Phoenix.
Team 12's Colleen Sikora is near 15th Avenue and Encanto, looking at what the city is doing to try to help cool things down.
This is one of the newest locations where the cool pavement is being put down in the city. And with the Phoenix summer sun beating down, this helps reflect the heat instead of absorb it, leading to some pretty cool results. If you could spray away some of the heat, this is one way to do it.
These streets now reflect sunlight away.
David Hundula is the heat response director for the city of Phoenix.
When we look at satellite imagery of the city, we see that the road surfaces really pop as some of the hottest surfaces in the city.
Partnering with ASU researchers, they've already found the surface temperature of this pavement is cooler, at least 10 degrees cooler, where the reflective coating's been put down. And the surface temperature is lower on the bottom of the pavement, too.
The pavement material itself experiences less strain as the summer goes along. That can help it last longer, which could mean money saving for all of us.
It's all of us feeling the hotter temps in the city than in outlying areas. That's the urban heat island effect.
It's constantly evolving.
Vijay Georgescu is with ASU School of Geographical Sciences and Urban Planning. With lows in Phoenix not getting as low as before, it takes a toll.
It becomes, from an energy infrastructure, a very difficult issue because air conditioners are on constantly. And so there's a lot of societal impacts.
And with this year's dry climate,
that means that the land surface is going to heat up quite a bit faster than it normally does, and potentially lead to a quicker onset of the North American monsoon system. That's actually good news.
But it's cool news for Phoenix neighborhoods only anticipated to get hotter, now getting the coating in the coming weeks.
And we think that this particular innovative strategy can help offset some of the heat island effects associated with all that pavement.
Hoping this summer helps answer more questions.
What we need to learn is how well it works and how long it lasts. How durable is it in the real world?
In Phoenix, Colleen Sikora, 12 News.
Now that's kind of an interesting concept, Steve, where you put down a cool pavement sealer to where the asphalt doesn't heat up as hot as it used to, but now it's lasting longer because it's not as hot.
Yeah, whenever the pavement heats up and cools down, it causes it to stretch. So you end up with more environmental cracking, the change in temperatures in the pavement. So if you can reduce it, you're better off.
Oh yeah. I just wanted to show another video. This one is just how quickly some of these products can get put down. I mean, they're moving fairly fast. Now I can tell you from at least the SealMaster side of things, our solar pave typically dries within 1 to 2 hours, and it's 2-coat process. So generally you can put down a coat between 8 and 9 in the morning and put your second coat down before lunchtime, then open it back up before 2 or 3. So it's got a quick dry time versus the traditional black colored material.
I got a question here from Steve Miller from WithersRavenel. Has anyone tried to estimate the air temperature reduction in San Antonio if all roads had the coating? That's a
That I would have to ask and find out. That is something that I'm not able to answer at the moment. But they're certainly looking for ways to try to lower the heat island effect. But it's a great question. On the chart on the right, you can see where this is basically talking about the textured properties. And it has to deal with the skid numbers versus the mile per hour. Again, I'm just trying to speak on behalf of SealMaster. We are not looking to put down solar pave in anywhere where we're going above 40, 45 miles per hour. Your skid numbers are going to be lower at that point. What we're always kind of looking for is maybe like a downtown environment or residential neighborhood where we can install that and not have to worry about the skid numbers. But with that being said, guard top experienced the highest reduction by 20% in textured. SealMasters was 10%. In fact, GAF showed a decrease in textured by 4% at the wheel path, but it actually increased 13% outside of the wheel path. And Pave Tech came in with a textured increase of 5% measured across the surface. In terms of the friction properties and with respect to the control sections, GAF experienced a higher reduction, 66% in friction, followed by SealMaster's 39% in the wheel pass, while Pave Tech and GAF experienced increased friction of 5 to 21% respectively. The International Friction Index, in terms of the International Friction Index, that reflects the combined effect of friction and texture on the skid resistance of pavement surface. The Pave Tech and GAF showed the higher coefficient of friction and skid number than SealMaster and Guard Top at different driving speeds. Again, we're looking more for that residential neighborhood or downtown area. In terms of adhesion strength with respects to the exposure to traffic, wheel path or outside the wheel path, SealMaster experienced the least reduction, followed by GAF and Guard Top after 5 to 6 months installation. No difference in adhesion strength was noticed in the case of Pave Tech because it's not a coating layer, it's a penetrator. SealMaster seems to provide the best adhesion strength across all the products, which reflects its longevity to adhere to the pavement surface. The visual inspection, GAF, SealMaster, and Guard Top provided a seal coat application that covers the pavement surface with its unique light color characteristics. They function similarly to any surface treatment applications that provide homogeneous appearance, fill all the surface cracks, adhere firmly to the existing pavement surface, and build sufficient cohesion to resist abrasion due to traffic. During the visual inspection, the treated sites appeared to be more distant than their counterparts, control sites from the surface color point of view. So where we put down the gray, you could see there was a big difference between the gray or was already oxidized. This is a chart which kind of breaks down the cost of the different materials out there. You can see, just for the materials on the SealMaster side, our materials are roughly $5 a square yard. Our color's a mocha gray. We have the 33% solar reductive index. Application rate is 1 gallon for 8 square yards, so it's basically 0.5 gallons a square yard. And our density of our products can be between 10 to 12 pounds per gallon. From what we've gathered, our product's going to lastly 5 to 7 years. So if we're looking at that, if you're trying to compare apples to apples, you're going to be more around the $1.15 per square yard per year of life. We've done some tests in Phoenix. We've done some tests in San Antonio, Texas. We haven't done anything on the East Coast, and that's something that we would like to do if we found an opportunity to do it, get some data out here. Because I can tell you from the seal coat side of the industry, just going from the Carolinas to Florida, it's completely different materials because you have different humidity levels. One may perform better than the other location. So it would be nice to see how the East Coast would compare to the West Coast. For ordering the solar pave, it's made in Ohio. It gets shipped to our franchise. It's a ready-to-use product with viscosity of 70 to 75 KUs. We actually add 2 pounds of sand to it when it gets here. We would put it in a agitated drop tank, bring it out to the job site, and then we would be there to help put the product down. Something that SealMaster Corporate actually put into this was do not add anything else to the product. It will not end well. It is a highly modified sealer with pigment in it to where it dries very quickly. And if we added any kind of drying agent to it, it would more likely dry inside the tank before we got it put down. Again, the Cool Pavement program, in order to maintain road quality and extend pavement life, pavement preservation techniques such as rejuvenator application, crack sealing, and complex surface treatments like liquid road are critical. These less costly substitutes for full repairs will boost and reduce ongoing costs. Specifically, solar pave will lower the pavement temperatures and enhance the surrounding environments. It also adds years of life to the pavement. There are several different links here, and if anyone out there is interested in looking at Cool Pavement sealers, this is where a lot of the information came back from their studies. This would have some more information for you as far as what the overall temperature of the heat island effect, what they would predict, how they could lower the temperature if they did that calculation. And with that, Steve, I think we're wrapping up to the end.
It'll be interesting to see is when you have your control sections, how different the pavement performs with the sealant on there, with it cooler versus one that doesn't have it on there, to see how that affects the environmental cracking. I don't know if it's been around long enough. Have there been any studies done yet about that?
For us internally, we have not. In fact, I reached out to SealMaster Corporate. I reached out to several different franchises that have put this down, and I have very little data to go off of. So a lot of this was based on what I was able to gather from the San Antonio case study with the University of Texas, and then also some of the case study with Phoenix. As far as longevity, we're thinking 5 to 7 years is what we can add to the pavement for the solar pave. I think it would be pretty cool if we could somehow team up with maybe NC State and do a case study here as well.
So for a municipality to get started using this product, do you have a kind of an idea of how much area that you would need to make it, worthwhile for both parties?
I think, something where we had multiple residential street, maybe up to a half mile to get started. I think that would be something adequate to where we could bring in enough supply, and we could probably get that done within just a couple days.
Yeah, and when that does happen, we certainly want to make sure that we're maybe doing a lunch and learn, get folks out there while it's going down so we can see it going down in the field. I'm sure it's very similar to a micro surfacing project, but always good for folks to get out there and actually see it in the field.
Well, the biggest difference between, we'll just speak on the liquid road and this product is like liquid road is applied by a squeegee machine with a drag brush or a drag box, where this one is sprayed. So you can actually, if you were doing a couple miles of this, I bet you could do a couple miles in a day if you had traffic control set up. I mean, it goes down quick.
So I guess when you're doing this in neighborhoods, you're doing one side of the street first and, notifying folks and maybe explain the process of doing a subdivision street.
Sure. So what we found to work good for us in the past is you gotta notify the residents, you gotta have door hangers, you gotta have traffic control. Typically you put a door hanger out 48 hours in advance, and then you go back 24 hours in advance with another one, and then we would put a cone in their driveway just as a friendly reminder in the morning. You won't have access to this area until after lunch. And at that point, we wait till the school buses are out of the way, and we would go and start spraying material. We would do half a road at a time because more than likely we got to keep it open. But if we didn't have to keep it open, we'd do both sides of the road and have it open within 4 to 5 hours. Some of the information that I've come across, and I will say that I am no expert in this material. I'd like to learn more about it, but there's some debunking going on saying that it may lower the temperature of the asphalt, but it's causing the surrounding temperatures to increase, like on the house. But I've also seen it to where they'll take temperatures of the house and the house is still at the same temperature, but then the pavement temperature is cooler. So I think the more we can learn about this product, the better off it would be.
I think it's a stretch to think that the heat from the pavement is going to reach the house, like that you're reflecting it and it would go to the house. It seems like it would just radiate and go up.
You would think so, especially if they're already installing, tin roofs with, solar reflective panels on it.
Yeah, I really feel like that heat island effect is, reducing it, that it's going to have a benefit to the asphalt itself. Because anytime you can keep it from getting too hot or too cold, right? It's that's the temperature ranges, which causes the pavement to pull on itself. And when it pulls, you get the breaks, the environmental cracking. So anytime we can reduce the temperature, we can hopefully minimize that. So it'll be interesting to see what the effects are over time.
Absolutely. It's what I also find interesting too is, we work with commercial. Commercial is our number one bread and butter, but the commercial industry, everyone wants their parking lots black. They want it, nice and pretty, like it's freshly paved. Then when you kind of go into the municipal world, you want everything gray because then you don't have to worry about, your crack sealant. I know some towns crack sealant is aesthetically unpleasing, where you could put a gray crack sealant down on this and put your gray material down, and possibly residents wouldn't complain as bad.
So would you put down a black crack seal with this product? It's the right material.
I think on a trial base, I'd probably want to do gray, maybe gray and black, just to see what the overall result would be. But on this particular product, we're looking for a newer surface that's just a couple years old, maybe 1 to 5 years old, so it doesn't have much cracking on it. Because we want to be able to take that black surface, put our solar pave on it, cool that surface so it's not moving as much to make it last longer, ultimately. And we provide a watertight sealer on top to where it would, shed the water. Want to get into your cracks.
Yeah, and so for everybody, just typically crack sealing is performed on cracks that are typically wider than a 1/4 inch. So basically like a number 2 pencil. It's got to be able to receive the material. Otherwise, you're kind of just painting the pavement. So anything that's over a 1/4 inch up to 3/4, and then you're talking. Then when it's too wide, you're putting backer rod in and trying to fill the hole. But then the material will actually, from the solar pave or micro or whatever, is actually going to take care of the smaller cracks. Ultimately, you're just trying to keep that water out. So, anything else before we close out today?
I don't think so. I look forward to seeing everybody at the APWA event next month.
Excellent. Well, Evan, thanks for presenting on cooler pavements, and thank you everybody for attending today. In October, we're going to have our next session, and it's going to be the City of Durham's microsurfacing program. So Clint Blackburn with the City of Durham and Tim Herbst with Slurry Pavers will be the presenters, and it'll be Wednesday, October 30th at 11:30 a.m. So you'll be receiving emails about that. And if you're on this call today and if you don't get emails from us about this, and someone somehow sent you, we can put you on the list if you need be. So anyway, thanks everybody for attending, and we'll see you next month.
Sounds
Take care.
good. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Evan.